Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join His mission.
When Everything is Missions, which is a transformative book, by the way, and really touched on some perhaps sensitive topics, or at least controversial.
We're not just called to make disciples, period. We're called to make disciples of all the nations.
Yes.
And that's really important because a lot of churches have domesticated the Great Commission by cutting off the object. They think the Great Commission is about making disciples. And no one should argue with that imperative, but that's incomplete. We're called to make disciples of the nations.
Yes.
And once again, what do we see in Jerusalem? They were making disciples, period. They weren't making disciples of the nations. But we know in Antioch, this work that they were appointed to required a sending off. But as you read through the chapter, that work that they were appointed to becomes explicit. And actually what Luke quotes here is Old Testament references of God being a light to the Gentiles. And this church was saying, we're going to take the gospel to the Gentiles, or ethnos. So this is where this comes into focus. They had a biblical definition of missions. It didn't stop at making disciples. It was about discipling all nations.
I love that. The subject or the object of that action. And by the way, surprise, surprise, if you haven't read Revelation 7:9 yet, you're going to be surprised to find out that this is not an ethnocentric call. Okay, heaven is going to be populated with people who look different, who speak different languages. Somehow, in God's grace, we're going to hopefully understand them. Either that or start studying Mandarin ASAP, right? There's going to be a lot of Chinese up there. But this call that we're called to is to see every tongue, every nation, every ethno-linguistic tribe standing before the throne of God, clothed in white, palm branches in their hands, singing to the one who created all these multi-diverse peoples to worship Him. That's exciting.
Yeah, amen. That's the end to which all of history is moving. Yes. And so we can be a part of that historical ingathering of worshipers from all nations. We don't want to miss out. Again, we should be making disciples of our neighbors, yes, but we can't stop there. And if we do, we honestly got the mandate. It's not just about your neighbors; it's also about the nations. And Antioch made sense of this. You know, they were the first church. As I said, you know, it's not hyperbole. If we're in a church today, it's because of what God started here.
Yes, yeah, we being the Gentiles.
That's exactly right.
Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join His mission. This podcast is powered by Within Reach Global. Subscribe, watch, and listen on YouTube today. Visit missionspulse.com.